Today we're going to make a Manchester tart. Essentially that is a pastry case and creme patissier custard and some jam in there as well. So you're going to start off by making your sweet pastry, so your pâté super. So you are starting off with your sugar and flour in the bowl, and you are going to rub in your butter. So it's an enriched pastry because we've got butter in there, which is going to give it that rich flavour, and we've also got some egg in there as well. So we're starting off the shortening process by rubbing our butter into our flour, which gives each of our starch grains a waterproof coating, and it prevents the gluten in those starch grains from forming long strands, so they can't absorb that water because of the waterproof coating from the fat, and they don't absorb that liquid, which means that we get nice short strands and a crumbly texture. So once you've got to the stage where you are looking like it's sandy breadcrumbs, you can just tap the bowl occasionally and see if any big bits come to the top. You are going to add in 3 egg yolks to the mixture, depending on the amount of flour that you've used. If you're wanting to keep your whites for something else, make sure that you crack them separately and transfer them into a clean, grease-free bowl. The yolks are going to enrich the pastry. They are adding our protein to it, and it's going to bind your ingredients together. So it adds protein, so it adds nutrition to your pastry, and it binds it together. So you just stir it together to see if it comes together. Then get your hands in and see if you can get it to come together in clumps. If you're struggling a little bit, you might need to just add a little bit of cold water to get it to come together. And then once it has come together, you are just going to lightly knead it just for a minute or two, just to get it to come together, and then you will need to leave it to rest. We're then going to roll out our pastry. So you can roll out your pastry before you want to rest it if you want to, if you get it to the right thickness, and put it in the fridge before it sets. You then need to line your dish. So you are going to lift it up and just gently ease it down into the corners, and then trim off any excess. And we're going to blind bake this pastry. So we're just going to prick some holes with a fork in the base of our pastry just to allow it to crisp up. And we are also going to put some greaseproof paper in, and then put some lentils or rice or baking beans into it to hold the base of our pastry down, so that we keep that dish shape of our pastry case, which will then contain our filling. Once it's cooked in the oven for about 10 minutes, you need to take out your lentils, check to see that it's cooked all the way through, and then you can just neaten off your pastry by trimming it off around the tin to give you a better finish. You then need to make your creme patissier, your custard. So you're going to start off with your egg yolk. You are going to add some sugar, you're going to add some corn flour, which is going to thicken your mixture, and some vanilla. So the egg yolk is in there because it's going to coagulate, and it is going to set your custard, as well as the corn flour, which will thicken it as well. Okay, so they work together to give us that smooth, thick custard, which we need. We're then going to whisk in some just warm milk, some hand hot milk, and then bringing it together. So whisk all your ingredients together, and then add your warm milk, and then put it back into the pan, and then you're going to whisk it continuously over the heat until it reaches your desired consistency of thickness. So the corn flour is gelatinizing and your egg yolk is coagulating. You then need to transfer that immediately to a bowl, so that it comes out of the pan and you don't scramble your eggs. Okay, otherwise you end up with separated custard, and you can either dust over some icing sugar, or you can put a piece of cling film over the top, which would act as a skin and prevent that skin forming on your custard. You're then going to construct your Manchester tart. So you're going to put some jam at the bottom of your pastry case. You are then going to spoon over your cooled creme patissier, which has been enriched by the fact that we've got that milk and that cream within it, so it gives us that nice creamy texture. And then to finish off, it is just going to have a sprinkling of desiccated coconut.